It's Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. The Atlantic rain we have been tracking has moved in for a lot of us in parts of the Eastern Caribbean overnight, even yesterday, especially late in the day as expected. We had some heavier pockets of rain in through here. And in this video, I want to show you how this Atlantic moisture moves through the Caribbean and works its way off toward the west. Plus, we'll zoom to the north with some bigger fronts and some moisture building back through Mexico and parts of the U.S., even up toward Canada. We'll track that as well. But look at this from Dominica south, even north of Dominica. I've been watching Guadalupe, for example. We've had some spotty showers overnight, but here are some of those pockets of rain. And as I mentioned, it's not going to be all day stuff. It's these kind of pockets that will be around, but at times, Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent the Grenadines, Martinique, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, northeastern Venezuela, back through Guyana and Suriname, some heavier pockets of rain. So let me just start with this because it's important, because we're going to see some pockets of flooding with some heavier rain. You see Trinidad and Tobago, look at these colors, the white shadings, even some of this kind of black shading showing up in here. That could be pushing 150 millimeters of rain. So I do appreciate you getting the word out about this as some of this rain moves in over the next couple of days. If I have to put out additional updates, if you're subscribed, you'll get those alerts, those notifications that a new video is out. But again, watching this carefully. So the heads up, as expected. I've been mentioning this for days, that better chance of rain, and we are seeing that. St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent the Grenadines, Grenada, generally the same thing. We may get a few of our islands, not a whole lot, but others just getting dumped on. It just depends on where some of this heavier rain sets up. But this really shows us, tells us there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and what's going to happen is today, even tomorrow, working across parts of the Eastern Caribbean. Then the moisture will build across the ABC Islands, northern Venezuela, northern Guyana, as we work our way through the end of the week, and then work its way closer to Belize and Honduras, even Nicaragua, once we work our way into the weekend. So that rain will be on the move. And this is tied partially to these fronts up to the north. This system here that's up toward the Atlantic region of Canada, bringing heavy snow, heavy rain. That front draped right through Bermuda with that chance of rain, helping to kind of draw in some of this moisture, and then we'll see this big moisture feed back toward the Pacific, lifting through the Gulf into parts of the southeast U.S. So it's really all connected. Let's start here with the rain for today, and you can see it right here, and this is the concern. So I'll be watching your comments throughout the day. If you have no rain, let me know in the comments as well, but if you're getting some heavier rain, put your location, what you got going on as we track this rain. Again, Guyana, northern and northeastern Venezuela, Trinidad and Tobago, and to the north. Then tomorrow we start to see how it kind of shifts a little bit more back toward the west. Still some rain, parts of the southeastern Caribbean, starting to build toward Aruba, Curacao and Bonaire as we work our way into our Thursday. Here's Friday going out in time, and you see that moisture working across the ABC Islands, clipping northern Colombia right in through here. But here's the issue. As we work our way through December, it's going to be pretty active. There's still a big batch of rain, at least in Guyana and pretty close to Trinidad. We're going to monitor that as we work our way into our Friday with that pocket there. But here's that rain, as I mentioned, moving right across the Caribbean. You see Honduras and Nicaragua, and then we'll see how this shakes out for Sunday. But this here is Saturday, and you see the rain moving into parts of Central America, mainly south of Jamaica, mainly south of the Cayman Islands, and then still watching out for the scattered showers. Active pattern in the southern Caribbean as we go throughout the entire month of December. So we're going to have a lot to track together. Now, here's that front to the north, that sliver of really heavy snow, parts of Newfoundland later today. The system leaves the Avalon Peninsula. And then watch this as we work our way forward. This moisture builds toward the Baja, swinging through Mexico, parts of Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi. This big moisture feed here. So one moisture feed sliding into the southern Caribbean, and another one right in through here coming off the Pacific. Rain builds back toward Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, northern side of it, even some icing possible in parts of Virginia, but it's this big moisture feed. So a couple areas we're really watching, southern Caribbean, and then watching right through here, and you can see some of that rain clipping by Bermuda. All of this still intact as we work our way into the southeast U.S. by the time we get into the weekend with that active pattern. Now, I do want to mention the seas with that front moving by Bermuda. Of course, elevated seas today. very high. They are going to be choppy to rough in the eastern Caribbean, the Atlantic passageways the next several days. Because we have that rain working in that moisture feed, that keeps those Atlantic passageways elevated. This here is by Friday. And even as we work our way into the weekend, as some of that rain moves across central and even western Caribbean, we start to get some choppier waters. So we'll be watching out for that as well Friday into the upcoming weekend. Now, as far as the rain goes, big areas of rain with this moisture feed back toward Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, where some spots could be over 6 inches of rain as we work our way through most of Florida, back through the Bahamas. Not a whole lot, a little bit more southern Bahamas. We may get clipped by showers, hit or miss parts of Cuba, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Cayman Islands, and Jamaica. We may get a couple brief downpours, but again, overall, the rain not widespread. Hit or miss as we work our way back through Puerto Rico, U.S. and British Virgin Islands, Anguilla, same thing, St. Martin, Statia. But as we work our way from Guadeloupe south, that's where those totals will be higher. This is what I zoomed down to earlier, right? With some totals easily over 100, maybe pushing 150 millimeters of rain. So the concern for flooding right in this area, which includes northeastern Venezuela, much of Guyana, in parts of Suriname, northwestern sections, but look at Guyana with some of those higher totals. So again, keep me posted in the comments what you're getting. Then we'll see how this moisture moves toward the ABC Islands, where once some of that moves in, we'll get over 50 millimeters of rain in some spots, and then we'll see how this all shakes out by the time we get into the weekend with that rain moving back towards Central America. But look at this moisture feed in through here. This is what I was talking about through northern and central sections of Mexico, moving back toward the southern United States, extreme east Texas, even parts of South Texas getting some of the rain. Of course, this up here includes some of the snow that we're dealing with, but this big moisture feed is going to be setting up as that continues to work its way across. So Jamaica, we have a 30% chance of a shower today, but again, if we get one, while the rain chance isn't super high, we could get a few downpours. Watching that the next 2 days in the Cayman Islands, rain chance holding at 20%. Trinidad and Tobago, again, the heavy areas of rain. And even though the rain chance goes down some tomorrow and even into the weekend, it's still kind of around, right? We could see additional flooding. That goes for Barbados as well. If we get some of the rain at times today, Barbados back through St. Lucia, it'll be heavy. So we'll be watching out for some areas of flooding. I'll be monitoring those comments. Same thing in Grenada with that rain moving by. But even tomorrow as that rain chance drops, we're still looking at a 60% chance on our Thursday. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, heavy chance of rain, high chance of rain in spots with some heavy areas of rain. Some islands may get a little bit more. Martinique, as I mentioned, back through Dominica, the rain chance today on the higher side. It's on the elevated side, even as we lift our way back toward Guadeloupe, and still that chance of scattered showers right through the end of the week. We lift to the north. This is where it's a little bit lower. Antigua, Barbuda, we're looking at a 40% chance for today. And some isolated showers. St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat, a 30% chance the next 2 days. Anguilla and St. Bart's, and holding on to an isolated chance, St. Martin, Saba, and Statia. Same thing as we work our way back through Puerto Rico through the end of the week. The rain chance holding at 30%. U.S. and British Virgin Islands, a 20 to 30% chance of getting some of those passing showers. Bahamas, mainly southern Bahamas, better chance of a couple spotty showers. And we may get a few as well over the next few days back through the Turks and Caicos. Across the DR, the rain chance holding at 40% for the Dominican Republic. We work our way back toward Haiti, rain chance holding at about 20%. Then we get back toward Belize, 30% chance today, 40% chance on Thursday. And we'll see Sunday into early next week if some of that moisture moving through the Caribbean does find us. But you can see Aruba, look how that rain chance gets higher. Same thing, Curacao back toward Bonaire, that rain chance just gets higher right through the end of the week, especially starting tomorrow in through Friday with that higher chance of rain moving in. Of course, widespread areas of rain the next few days back through Guyana with that flooding. Best chance of rain, Suriname, northwestern sections of getting some rain. Cuba, rain chance not too high, 20% chance, 50% chance, Costa Rica and Panama, and running at about a 30 to 40% chance in Nicaragua. Rain chance 20 to 30% for now in Honduras. We'll keep an eye on that weekend as some of that rain starts to work in. Next couple of days, Guatemala and El Salvador, a 20% chance. Mexico City, better chance of rain actually to the north, and we swing back toward the Yucatan Peninsula. Rain chance today and tomorrow holding at 20%. 40 to 50% chance north northern Colombia, keeping an eye on that rain, especially back toward parts of northern Venezuela. That will be on the move. And again, that front sliding by Bermuda today with that chance of rain and even some gusty winds. So the Atlantic rain entering the Caribbean, the pockets of heavier rain, monitoring that flooding island by island. That rain will move across the Caribbean and work its way toward Central America as we work our way into the weekend, and monitoring those fronts to the north. So we have a busy pattern. We'll be tracking it together right here on this channel. Thank you for being part of this weather community. Be safe if you're dealing with some of the flooding. Have a good day ahead.